Coming up on Jersey Sports Zone, James Farah and Point Pleasant Boro crank out the yards and another win at Ocean Township. Plus, Long Branch had to go to overtime to battle Middletown North in a thrilling finish.
This is Alex Renzo and Ramsey. Bergen Catholic and Don Bosco Prep battling on national television in one of the biggest rivalry games in the country. This one did not disappoint. The Crusaders looking for a 5th straight win, and they would need all 48 minutes of play to get it done. All the highlights coming up on Jersey Sports Zone.
I'm Brian DeNovellis. Records were falling in Manalapan. Naeem Mayfield, one of the top running backs in the state, became the school's all-time leading rusher as the Braves hosted the Chiefs of Piscataway in a rematch of last year's Central Jersey Group 5 final. The highlights are next on Jersey Sports Zone.
I'm Mike Frankel in Williamstown, where the Braves host the #1 ranked Timber Creek Chargers in a pivotal Week 8 matchup with a lot of power points on the table. We'll have the highlights between the Chargers and the Braves coming up in just a bit on JerseySportsZone.com.
Reporting from Phillipsburg High School, I'm Courtney DuPont, where two undefeated teams, the North Hunterdon Lions and the Phillipsburg Stateliners, came to battle it out. Now, before tonight's game, North Hunterdon had not defeated Phillipsburg in 20 years, and thanks to Jack Stagger and Nasir Ball, that did not change tonight. Phillipsburg with a big win at home. Highlights coming up on Jersey Sports Zone.
We're the BMAC student section, and Jersey Sports Zone starts now! Yeah!
We are in the home stretch of the regular season in high school football. I'm Rich Krampanis. Thanks so much for logging on to JerseySportsZone.com. This is our Friday Week 8 highlight show. Once again, we'll bring you all around the state with outstanding high school football action. No more talking. Time to jump into the highlights. Let's get started with the nationally televised showdown as Don Bosco Prep hosted Bergen Catholic. That kicks off our Friday Week 8 highlight show. What a scene in Ramsey. Don Bosco Prep hosting Bergen Catholic. Legendary coach Greg Toll returns to the field he coached for 19 seasons. On the other sideline, the Crusaders and Ironman played on ESPN2. This one met the hype and then some. Late first quarter, Bergen Catholic out to a 7-0 lead. This is Jaquil Batts to Christian Dramel. 55-yard gain for Don Bosco Prep. And then it's Batts going to go right back to Dramel in the corner of the end zone. 25 yards. He hauls it in. That's a gorgeous catch. We've got a 7-7 ball game. Second quarter, the Don Bosco defense comes up with a big play. This is Ian Grayson pursuing Johnny Langan. Grayson gets the quarterback sack. The Ironmen get the ball back, and they would take the lead with 4:16 to go in the second. Thanks to the foot of Liam Kellogg, it's good to go from 40 yards out. We got a 10-7 Don Bosco lead. Bergen Catholic is able to strike right back. The ground game established thanks to Josh McKenzie. Look at McKenzie go rumbling for 15 yards down to the 43-yard line. Under a minute to go in the half. Langan to Aeneas DeCosmo. That's a great grab over the middle. Good for 33 yards. Down inside the 5-yard line. And the drive is capped off by Johnny Football. Johnny Langan on the QB keep from a yard out. At the half, Bergen Catholic has a 14-10 lead. Second half. We have seen the super sophomore for Don Bosco Prep, Jalen Berger, do it all year long. And here he goes. Look at that cut and see you later. 58 yards for Jalen Berger. Don Bosco Prep takes the lead back. It's 17-14 Ironmen. Bergen Catholic was pinned back in their own end zone. Langan is drilled as he throws. He's picked off by Kevin Brennan. The Ironmen get awesome field position, looking to build on their lead, and they would. That's because Don Bosco turns back to Jalen Berger, his second touchdown in less than a minute. An 8-yard score makes it 23-14, 6:46 to go in the third quarter. And the Don Bosco secondary was able to create pressure and come up with turnovers, because here's another one. Langan picked off by Jason Haber. But a crucial play in the game comes right here. Jalen Berger in the Wildcat. He is absolutely drilled by Javonte Jean-Baptiste. Berger walks off the field in pain. He would not return to the ball game. What a tide turner by Jean-Baptiste. It forces Don Bosco to settle for a field goal. Kellogg from 32 yards out makes it 26-14. So the Ironmen have a 12-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. But the Bergen Catholic offense would come alive in the last 12 minutes. Josh McKenzie on the sweep, breaking tackles, 14-yard touchdown. We got a 26-21 ball game. And then it's time for the Crusaders defense to come up big. 3rd and 9, Batts scrambling for the first down, but he is drilled by 2 Bergen Catholic defenders. He is stopped short of the sticks. So now, Bergen Catholic gets the ball with 1:54 to go, down by 5. 3rd and 15. Johnny Langan to Dylan Classy. Stay classy. What a great grab. 42 yards. And now, Bergen Catholic is on the move. Another 3rd and long situation. It's Langan to Michael Feaster. Diving catch. Wow, this is getting intense. It's time for Johnny Langan to go full Johnny football mode to Anthony Diadetta. He beats that defender, and he's in the paint. 48 seconds to go. That's just the second catch of the year for Anthony Diadetta, and it was a big one. 27-26. Bergen Catholic back out in front. The Crusaders go for 2 to make it a 3-point game. Langan up and over. Johnny Langan is clutch. 29-26. We got 48 seconds to go. Can Don Bosco mount a game-tying or game-winning drive? Batts finds Dremel, but by the way, Josh McKenzie plays defense as well. That's a huge hit on Dremel. And the Bergen Catholic defense in the end is able to seal the deal. That's Jordan Morant with the INT. And what a moment for the Bergen Catholic Crusaders. A thrill ride. 29-26. You see the student section going nuts. Johnny Football is all fired up, making 5 straight wins for the Crusaders in this rivalry. What a football game. As Johnny Langan, the future Boston College Eagle, overcomes adversity. He had 3 interceptions, but when it mattered the most, he led his team 87 yards on the final drive for that game-winning touchdown. Langan with 2 TD passes and a TD run. Jalen Berger had 137 yards in a losing effort, but it is Bergen Catholic with a 29-26 win over Don Bosco Prep. The folks who watched this game across America on ESPN2 saw the best of New Jersey high school football. Both of these teams, as usual, brought it to the highest level. And the big storyline, Coach Toll returning to Don Bosco Prep. Bergen Catholic was certainly motivated to get that W for him. Alex Lorenzo touches upon that storyline, as well as the great ground game of Josh McKenzie in his post-game report.
Thanks a lot, Rich. Legendary coach Greg Toll is known for his smash-mouth football and tough style of play, and Josh McKenzie told me that's exactly what Coach Toll brought to the Crusaders in 2017. We saw that pay off in a big way on Friday night as Bergen Catholic buckled down in the fourth quarter for a huge comeback win over their arch rival. And after the game, I caught up with McKenzie and the victorious Bergen Catholic Crusaders.
It's crazy. You see how many people are out here. I think there was, over 6,000 people, and it's, this game it's bigger than a game. It's a rivalry. There's a lot of hatred towards one another, but at the end of the day, there's mutual respect. And, we have respect for them. They come out and they play in this league week in and week out against the toughest opponents, and so do we. So at the end of the day, we got respect, but, we want to beat them. I think it comes from Coach Toll. they lost Coach Toll this year. I don't want to really go in depth on that, but, you know, we're happy to have him, and he just instills that into us every day, you know, tough guy mentality. You know, Coach Nunn's has been talking about that for years and building on that. So, you know, we're just trying to play smash mouth football week in and week out.
This is way more than a win. This is just setting history and rewriting all the chances that we win against them. I mean, we haven't beat them on their home turf in a while, and that's what we came to do.
Reporting for Jersey Sports Zone, I'm Alex Lorenzo.
Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Long Branch is being brought to you by Rosario Realty. We've got a thriller in Middletown, short conference football, Long Branch and Middletown North. The Green Wave with a 21-14 lead at the half. Sean Glenn and company looking to mount a comeback and keep their playoff hopes alive. This is Luke Arnold with a big stop on Connor Welsh. The Long Branch defense was really dialed in. Next play, third down. Sean Glenn looking downfield. Amor Durant with the quarterback sack. Middletown North has to punt it away. It remains a 21-14 game at the end of 3. In the fourth, North trying to get something going. Connor Welsh. Look at the hard yards earned. 11 in all to move the chains. Now in Long Branch territory, Sean Glenn on 4th and 12. He throws this one up, but Pesa Fields comes up with the INT. Long Branch takes over. We got 6:42 to go. The Green Wave up 7. Inside their own 20, Juwan Wilkins is going to try and keep the drive alive. He checks downfield, and then it's DeMond Hill soaring in with the quarterback sack. North gets the ball back with under 5 minutes to go. And Glenn is going to run a little screen pass to Connor Welsh, and Welsh is going to start moving Middletown North into the red zone. Great play there by Welsh. 2 plays later, Sean Glenn to his favorite target, Aiden Campbell. Yards after the catch. This is clutch. Big time play there by Aiden Campbell. 20-yard touchdown. We're tied at 21, and we've got overtime in Middletown. Middletown North has had so many tough games this year with Howell and RBC. Long Branch in OT. It's Wilkins to Pesa Fields. That's good for an 8-yard gain. So it's 4th and 4. No field goal. Long Branch is going to go for it. Wilkins hits Pesa Fields again. It looks like Connor Wells sticks him hard on that one for the turnover on downs, but hold on. They go to the chains. First down, Long Branch. The drive stays alive. Third down, Wilkins. Play action. Matt Clark is wide open in the end zone. 5-yard scoring play. Long Branch has a 28-21 lead. So now North gets the ball, needing to get into the end zone to force double overtime. Glenn to Campbell. He pushes his way down to the 5-yard line, but just short of a first down. So it's 4th and 2 from the 5-yard line. Game on the line. Glenn with the give to Connor Robbins, who tries to go over the top, but the Long Branch defense is able to lock down a victory. It was close, but there's the celebration as Long Branch's defense is able to hold off the Lions' threat. What a football game in Middletown. The Long Branch Green Wave are now 6-1 on the season thanks to a 28-21 win in overtime over Middletown North. Juwan Wilkins had 212 yards passing, 3 scores via the air, including that big one to Matt Clark in OT. Coming up next week, I can't wait for this one. Long Branch hosting Freehold Boro. That is going to be a laser light show. Our post-game reaction begins with Jay Cook talking with head coach Dan George, who said that game-winning TD was close to maybe never happening.
Well, it didn't work because we didn't throw him the ball. If we had thrown the ball, it would have worked. You know, that's how you learn. You know, you get different looks, different times, and we got, you know, at that point, I thought it was a good 3rd and 1 where it was really a good chance. We tried to run the ball again just to get the first, and we just felt like our best situation tonight was throwing the football.
So we just got to do what we got to do, you know what I'm saying? We going to fight. We're going to fight with dogs. We dog at this. I knew me and Matt had that chemistry. TJ came on, told me, I got your back. I was like, all right, I'm gonna deliver for you. You know what I'm saying? And then we got the dub.
Big momentum swing. It really let us take over the game. Our defense held it down at the 5-yard line, and then so just helped us get the W. Actually, I was really shocked when they called that play because funny thing, last week we had it, we didn't get it. So we worked on it in practice, and as you can see, it worked out in the game for us.
Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Phillipsburg High School is being brought to you by the Garnet Booster Club.
Thanks, Rich. It's senior night here at Phillipsburg High School where the undefeated Lions will take on the also undefeated Phillipsburg State Liners. 3 minutes into the game, with Piscataway making a strong first drive down the field, they hand the ball off to star running back Joe Green, and he gets a short gain on that play but is very slow getting up, and unfortunately for Piscataway, he would leave the game injured with a dislocated elbow, a big loss for the State Liners early on. Winding down the last few seconds of the first quarter, and Jack Staggart with a beautiful pass to number 13, Ray Paremba, to get the State Liners down to the North 2nd yard line. First quarter would end scoreless as we continue that drive into the second. Jack Staggart hands the ball off to number 2, Abdul Salahuddin, shoots the outside and busts into the end zone for a Phillipsburg touchdown. Salahuddin filling the shoes of Green nicely with some smash-mouth Piscataway-style football right there. State Liners go up 7-0 early in the second quarter. 5 minutes left in the half now. Piscataway with the ball back on the 34. Staggart with a quick pass to number 8, Nasir Ball. He breaks his coverage, finds a gap, and it's a foot race into the end zone. Nasir Ball would go for a 34-yard touchdown pass there as he shows off his hops with that celebration, and he puts his team up 14-0 with 5 minutes left in the half. North takes the ball now, and after a handful of penalties, the Lions find themselves first and goal on the Piscataway 5. Matt Busher takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and keeps it for a 5-yard QB keeper as he gets his team on the board before the half could end. 14-7, State Liners leading. Second half now with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Jack Staggart looking to throw again, drops back, scans his options, finds Ball once more for another Piscataway touchdown. Nasir Ball with 2 touchdown receptions tonight, 20 yards on this one. Piscataway, certainly not known as a throwing team, but adjusting nicely to the loss of their star running back. They go up 27 after a missed extra point, and we head into the fourth quarter. 7:30 left in the game. Busher looking to throw the ball again. He launches one up, but it is intercepted by number 21 for Piscataway, Javon Boothman, and that would stop all momentum. State Liners would wind down the clock and take this win over North Hunterdon 27. Piscataway with 265 total offensive yards and 13 first downs. Some new stars for the State Liners tonight. Nasir Ball, 4 receptions, 63 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And the young QB, Jack Staggart, completed 8 of 12 passes tonight for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns himself, as Piscataway remains undefeated, looking to play Immaculata next week. After the game, I caught up with Nick Jocelyn, Jack Staggart, and Nasir Ball.
We just wanted to pound the football, and with Joe out, it made it tough, but Abdul and Sterling and all of them, they really stepped up. Our O-line was phenomenal today.
I didn't care if it was senior night. I actually said it's for the team, not the seniors. I mean, Coach Duffy said it the night before the game that this bond on the team, we can't even tell who's the seniors on the team. We can't tell the sophomores, the juniors, because we're all just one team this year. Of course, we miss Joe Green. I'm not going to say we don't miss him. Of course, he's a great player. But Abdul stepped up, and it's next man up. We've been being told that since the beginning. So
we had to change the game plan once Joe got hurt. We still ran the ball a lot and smashed it through the line, and our line did good. But Coach he caught some great plays, and we executed on the pass. We run that a lot in practice, actually. Me, Jack, Ray, and Steve, we all alternate. And my name got called up. It was a pass play. The linebacker, he didn't get his depth, I guess, and then I just ran right by him, wide open in the end zone, and Jack threw a nice ball, and that was a touchdown. I've been waiting, actually, to have a game like this. I had won our first game, but I've been a little sluggish. So good coming out party. Hope to continue it next week.
Piscataway smash mouth football, and that's just what we do. Our guys are just phenomenal, and we love it. We love that kind of football. That's what Piscataway is.
And they do it well. Phillipsburg now 7-0. Reporting from Phillipsburg High School, I'm Courtney DuPont, and you're watching Jersey Sports Zone.
Let's head back north. 2 6-1 teams going head-to-head. Caldwell playing host to Whippany Park. And we saw Whippany Park moving the chains early. Luke Papa on the QB keeper. Good job of getting through the pile. That's a 25-yard gain. The Wildcats get a first down. later in the drive. Jake Crane is going to punch it in for Whippany Park. It's 7-0 Wildcats at the end of one quarter. But Caldwell would respond in the second. Brian Clarkin at quarterback hooks up with James Miller. He makes the catch, and he slides out of bounds. A first down play right there, and Caldwell sticking to the air attack. It's Clarkin rolling left. This time he connects with Brian King. King is forced out of bounds. The Chiefs are rolling. Next play, that air attack opens up the ground game. Anthony Costigan finds room. See you later. He's in the paint. Touchdown Caldwell. We're tied up at 7 apiece. The Chiefs looking to break on top. Watch how this play unfolds. The snap is bobbled, but Clarkin is able to hold on to it, keeps his cool, and he finds Brian King. He's in the zone. Good extension. It's 14-7 Caldwell. And after the Chiefs D forces a turnover, Costigan gets the job done. Second touchdown of the game for Anthony Costigan. It's a 22-7 Caldwell lead at the half. Second half, Clarkin drops back. Look at this ball to Brian King in stride. Gorgeous! Brian to Brian. It's Brian squared. Caldwell takes a 29-7 lead, and that's how this game comes to a close. 29-7 is your final. The Caldwell Chiefs are now 7-1 on the season. Brian Clarkin was 13 of 18 for 140 yards and 2 touchdown passes. They were both caught by Mr. Brian King, who had 6 catches for 90 yards. Great highlights from Dan Exter. We're excited to have him on the Jersey Sports Zone team, bringing us more great highlights like that from North Jersey as we head into the stretch run. 29-7, it's Caldwell picking up a win at home over Whippany Park. Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Manalapan is being brought to you by Hit Training.
Manalapan hosting Piscataway in a rematch of last year's Central Jersey Group 5 championship. Manalapan led 7-0 at the half, but here they come. Opening possession of the second half. Naeem Mayfield, one of the state's top running backs, would become Manalapan's all-time leading rusher, surpassing 2011 grad John Ferkser. The Braves drove to the 15. Here's the inside handoff to Samir Blacknall. It faked me out. It faked Piscataway out. Blacknall scores. That made it 14-0 Manalapan, and they were pumped. After a P-way punt, the Braves went back to the ground, back to the Fordham-bound Mayfield. Look at him dragging tacklers across the 34, first down. On the next play, Luke Corcione airing it out. He's got Samir Blacknall, who got behind the defender, and they're not going to catch him. 66 yards for the touchdown. The Braves were pulling away from P-way. That made it 21-0 Manalapan. Blacknall doing it on offense and on defense. Piscataway struggled to get anything going thanks to a suffocating Braves defense. There's Blacknall in perfect position for the INT. And Manalapan would put this game away here in the fourth quarter. Naeem Mayfield, part of a record-setting night. He carried 32 times for 193 yards and 2 scores. Manalapan gets revenge for last year's loss in the state title game, blanking Piscataway 28-0.
It means that all the hard work that I put in all my high school career, and especially the offseason for leading up to this season, all the hard work that I put in paid off, and we just got to keep moving on forward.
Great teams figure out a way to step it up another notch when the competition gets better, right? And that's what we did tonight. We played great on both sides of the ball, special teams, all 3 phases. I couldn't be prouder of you. I couldn't be prouder.
Mayfield wasn't the only story in this game. How about Manalapan's defense, handing Piscataway a shutout loss for the first time since 2012?
We thought that we would have a chance tonight because we play really good run defense. We've been playing good run defense all year, and we felt good coming in that we would be all right. And the guys stepped up tonight. Our 2 inside linebackers, they've been phenomenal all year. Our defensive linemen have been great, so it's worked out pretty good.
We had a chip on our shoulder the whole week. This is a huge win because it's a revenge win. It's nothing. We take every team hard.
Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Middletown South is being brought to you by Brown's Windows and Doors. Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of St. John Vianney is being brought to you by BCB Bayshore, your community bank. Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of St. John Vianney is brought to you by Paver Restoration.
Meanwhile, before the St. John Vianney Middletown South game, they honored a group of veterans as honorary captains. Veterans of the Vietnam War, Korean War, and World War II. Middletown South took the opening kickoff right down the field on the Vianney defense. Jake Krellin powering his way to the 4-yard line. A couple of plays later, quarterback Ben Kinsella calls his own number and scores. Touchdown Eagles. They led 7-0. But SJV can strike in a hurry with players like Johnny Buchanan, like he was shot out of a cannon. Buchanan zigs and zags his way 49 yards to the end zone. The Delaware-bound running back finished with 105 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. He wasn't the only running back who had a nice night. Zaire Sterling had 77 yards on the ground in this touchdown. It was closer than most thought it would be, but St. John Vianney remains perfect at 8-0 with a 21-14 victory over Middletown South. Brian DeNovellis, JerseySportsZone.com.
Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Red Bank Regional is being brought to you by Risers Landscape Supply. Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of RBC football is being brought to you by the Two River Times. Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Red Bank Catholic is brought to you by Playa Bowls of Red Bank. Let's go to Little Silver. Red Bank Regional still seeking win number 1 on the season. A tall task with Red Bank Catholic. Zach Bear, number 22, out for the season. Suffered a broken foot last week against St. John Vianney. The senior, certainly heartbroken, but his replacement shined and inspired. Billy Guidetti, 39-yard touchdown run. This sophomore has a ton of talent. At 7-0 RBC in front. The Casey's defense was dialed in for all 4 quarters. Tommy Smith with the quarterback sack right there. In the second quarter, this is Steve Lubisher to Kevin Bauman over the middle. Bauman's rumbling, but he loses the handle right there. Noah Mickens caused the fumble, but look at the awareness by Logan Whalen. He falls on that football, keeps the drive alive. That was a huge gain, and it would lead to this. John Columbia, 9 yards in the zone. 14-0 Red Bank Catholic in front. Steven Nowitzki, his favorite target is Karam Malloy. Great juggling catch right there. RBR would miss a field goal late in the first half. And with just over a minute to go, this play is awesome. Lubisher, he's got a cannon. Brandon Lombana shakes that defender. 70-yard touchdown. How about that? At the half, Red Bank Catholic in control with a 20-0 lead. Great moment in the halftime ceremony. Red Bank Regional honoring its first Hall of Fame induction class. That's Danny Stubbs, 2-time Super Bowl champ with the San Francisco 49ers. Part of that first induction class. We fast forward to the fourth quarter. Guidetti was at it again. Look at the sophomore go. A 44-yard touchdown run for Billy Guidetti makes it 30-0 RBC. And the Caseys would close out a dominating effort with some stellar D. Nowitzki picked off by Anthony Romano. 18-yard pick 6. That's a route jumper right there. Good awareness by Anthony Romano. Red Bank Catholic shuts out Red Bank Regional. 37-0 is your final. Steve Lubisher threw for over 230 yards. And Billy Guidetti stepping in for the injured Zach Bear. 12 carries, 115 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Guidetti's got a real bright future ahead of him. He's got 2 more years of high school football after 2017. And give credit to that Red Bank Catholic offensive line opening the holes and allowing Red Bank Catholic to pick up their 7th win of the season. 37-0 is your final on Friday night in Little Silver. Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Point Boro is being brought to you by Tech Art Builders, Twin Boro Allshore, and the Black and Gold Football Parents Club. We head down to Ocean Township for a look at the undefeated Point Pleasant Boro Panthers. James Farah and Tanner Gordon leading the way for another big game on the ground. And we saw some tone-setting plays early on. Trent Liviosi gets in there. He rips down Robbie Nungesser for the 3rd down stop. Next play, it's 4th down. Ocean is punting away, but they want to respond. This is Jake Papa coming in hot. He causes the fumble. Mike Nikes comes up with a loose ball. The Spartans wouldn't be able to capitalize on that turnover. So Point Boro takes over after a turnover on downs, and James Farah is going to set the ground attack going with this pitch to Brandon Cipriano, and they're not going to get him. Look at those jets by Brandon Cipriano, 68 yards. It's 6-0 Point Boro in front. This Ocean team really came to play in the first half. Nungesser to Trebor Pena on the slant. Pena moves the chains for a tough 25 yards into Panthers territory. 2 plays later, Ocean gets on the board. Nungesser fires this one down the sideline. Pena's got it. 45 yards for Trebor Pena. We got a 6-6 game in the first quarter. And before you knew it, we had a shootout on our hands because James Farah has an answer. Look at James Farah go. He breaks through the line. That is a 25-yard touchdown run for James Farah. 13-6 Point Boro. We still have 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. And it was a real wild turn of events. On the ensuing kickoff, Trebor Pena has a message for Point Boro. He's not done. Look at that play by Pena. This is a 79-yard kickoff return for a score. 13-12. The Boro lead is just 1 point. And this run of big touchdowns kept on going. James Farah knows how to make a big play. He is on his way down the sideline. Look at the balance. James Farah, 79 yards. It's now 20-12, Point Boro in front. And after Ocean stalls on offense, Boro would get the ball back, and Tanner Gordon gets in on the fun, the tailback, with a bruising 13-yard carry. And Point Boro is on the move again. Next play from scrimmage, Gordon makes his mark on this one. He takes the option carry, and he doesn't want to be left out of the end zone party. 38 yards for Tanner Gordon. Point Pleasant Boro makes it 27-12, and it was a 3-headed monster that cranked out just under 500 yards of offense in a 41-18 win for Point Pleasant Boro. James Farah leads the way with 282 yards rushing on 26 carries and 3 touchdowns. Tanner Gordon had 89 yards, and Brandon Cipriano had 6 carries for 116 yards and a touchdown. When you add it all up, 493 yards of rushing for Point Pleasant Boro, and the Panthers would go on to clinch B South later on in the night. Congratulations to the entire football program. It's been a great story. Point Pleasant Boro is now 8-0 on the season. They wrap up the regular season with a date against Barnegat next week. 41-18 is your final. Point Boro with a road win at Ocean. Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Hightstown and Notre Dame is being brought to you by Princeton Orthopedic Associates.
Hightstown visiting Notre Dame. We picked this one up at the half. Rams leading it 20-0. Notre Dame coming out of the break fired up. Hightstown about to get the big gain when the ball comes loose, and Pat Jones is going to scoop this one up to let the Fighting Irish offense take over. Quarterback Robbie Bucher will make the most of the opportunity as he puts together a couple clutch third down conversions. First with this completion through the air. Then Bucher's going to roll out, doesn't like what he sees, so he's going to take it himself to move the chains. And on the very next play, Bucher hands it off to Coleon Williams, who finds the hole, and that's going to be an easy 6 for number 1. Irish not just clicking on offense, their defense was able to shut down the Rams to force a punt on the next drive. Notre Dame back in the red zone a few plays later, and Williams is going to have his number called again as he gets his second of the game. Fighting Irish trail by just 6 with under 3 to go in the third. Hightstown trying to get their offense going, but Notre Dame staying strong on D to close out the quarter. Then in the fourth, Matt DeCristofaro is going to get the handoff, and he's going to blow past everyone as he has 6 waiting for him. Rams now lead it 26-14. Fighting Irish had a couple good fumble opportunities late in the game, but they were unable to come up with them. And there will be no comeback. Hightstown hangs on to wrap this one up. 26-14 is your final. The Rams end a 40-year drought against Notre Dame to keep their playoff hopes alive. Their next game should be interesting. They will take on the Ewing Blue Devils, who have the same record. Notre Dame drops to 2-6. Fighting Irish have one more game left on the schedule, and it should be a good one as they make the trip to Lenape to face the Indians. Now let's head over to Ewing, where the Blue Devils host Princeton for a Friday night clash.
Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Princeton and Ewing is being brought to you by Princeton Orthopedic Associates.
Princeton visiting Ewing. Tigers still looking for that first win of the season. Dennis Garrison getting the party started for Ewing as he runs in the opening kickoff for an early TD. And on their first defensive drive, the Blue Devils making their presence known as they get a safety on a miscued snap. On the ensuing kickoff, they're going to get good field position, but the game will be stopped for some time for an injured Princeton player, and a sign of good sportsmanship as the Ewing players come over to wish him the best as he heads out to get checked. First play after the delay, Jacob Bossish throws this one up to Garrison, who's going to come down with it for his second score of the game. Blue Devils take an early 16-0 lead with 9 to go in the first quarter, and the momentum kept going. Next possession, Bossish hands it off to Levinsky Collins, who almost runs over his own guy for the touchdown. And following the kickoff after that play, quarterback Jake Renda looking for his man on the quick throw, but Javon Strong is there, and this is going to be 6 big ones for him. Ewing would go on to win at 62-7. They bring their record to 4-4. The Blue Devils have one game remaining on their schedule. If they can take down Hightstown, who's coming off a big win against Notre Dame, their playoff hopes will continue in November. Princeton will have one last shot to get a W before the year ends, as they will make the trip to Allentown next. For Jersey Sports Zone, I'm Neri Rodriguez.
I'm SNJ Today's Mike Frankel for JerseySportsZone.com in Williamstown for a West Jersey Football League clash between the Williamstown Braves and the Timber Creek Chargers. Timber Creek, the consensus #1 team in South Jersey, and steamrolling toward the #1 seed in the upcoming South Jersey Group 3 playoffs. Meanwhile, the Braves of Williamstown battling for a better spot in the South Jersey Group 5 bracket. Chargers senior quarterback Devin Leary closing in on a pair of state passing records heading into this one, but Creek starts the scoring on the ground. Opening possession of the game, and Jerome Gibson is in for the touchdown. Gibson's 9-yard score spots the Chargers a 7-0 lead. Williamstown moving the football on its opening drive. J.C. Collins throws to Nick DeRosa, who makes a diving catch. DeRosa using all of his 5'4" frame to lay out for that one. The Braves drive stalls in the red zone, so Nick Pomerleau comes on to kick a 26-yard field goal. Williamstown trails 7-3. The Braves with the ball again after a Chargers punt, but Creek knocks the football loose, and Sage Brown recovers for the Chargers. Then Leary goes to work, 3rd and long from his own 8-yard line, and the North Carolina State commit airs it out. Tarheeb Still makes the catch around midfield, and he's off to the races. A 92-yard strike from Leary to Still to extend Timber Creek's lead 14-3. Second quarter, Leary going deep down the field again. Another gorgeous spiral to Mike Johnson for a 42-yard touchdown. Devin Leary ties the state record with 96 career touchdown passes. He sets a new state record with 8,776 career passing yards. And the Chargers stay perfect. 35-10 the final. Leary also rushing for a score. Temple commit Kyle Dobbins also scores a touchdown in the victory. Timber Creek is now 7-0. Williamstown falls to 4-3. A big game in Franklinville where Delsea takes on Woodrow Wilson. Both of these teams fighting for first-round home games in the South Jersey Group 3 playoffs as well. The Crusaders lead by 1 late in the second quarter when Aiden Bourget punches it in from 10 yards out. Delsea leads 14-6 at the break. Third quarter now, and Bourget breaks off a big one. Aiden Bourget down the far sideline, and he rumbles in for a 46-yard touchdown. The Crusaders starting to pull away at 21-6. Delsea intercepts the Tigers to get the ball right back. It's Tamir Kizzy's turn now on the pitch. Kizzy able to turn the corner and move the chains for the Crusaders. A few plays later, 4th down for Delsea, and they pitch it to Kizzy again. Tamir Kizzy in there for an 11-yard score. Delsea running away with this one. It's 29-6 after 3. Fourth quarter, the Crusaders go back to Bourget. Aiden Bourget straight up the middle for a 19-yard touchdown run, and Delsea blows the doors off Woodrow Wilson in the second half. 43-12 the final. Bourget finishing with 207 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. Delsea improves to 5-3. Wilson falls to 5-2. I'm Mike Frankel for JerseySportsZone.com.
Thanks once again to all the New Jersey high school football fans for checking out our highlights. A reminder, we show high school sports highlights every day of the week here at JerseySportsZone.com. We are in the midst of the soccer and field hockey state playoffs. We'll have that for you all week long, and then come back for the regular season finale coming up next weekend with Week 9. We'll be with you every step of the way on the road to the state championship, and then it's time for us to honor the best of the best. We are so excited to bring you the first of what should be many, many Jersey Sports Zone football banquets. That date is Thursday, December 7th at the APA Hotel in Woodbridge. We will honor the top players from the state. Coaches, if you have a player who you think is worthy of being one of the top 10 at their position, please email Rich at JerseySportsZone.com with your nomination. We will be picking the team coming up in the next few weeks. For our team at Jersey Sports Zone, I'm Rich Krampanis. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you right back here on Saturday with more high school football on JerseySportsZone.com. Want to see highlights and features from your favorite school? Jersey Sports Zone is entirely supported by our great sponsors. Email marketing at JerseySportsZone.com to get your business in front of our loyal audience and highlights from your hometown.